playing with this thing, man.
Oh yeah, there we go right there.
Welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversations. Salute to everybody that's already in the building. We got a special guest and it's gonna be a dope interview. So share, tell a friend. Y'all in here with Du Sims the Don and my nigga Yael. Yeah.
Man, what's the deal? Hey, we got a dope interview with a legend and a solid individual. Not too many people can say that. Been on them yards, and guess what? Paperwork came back 100%. You know, before we even present any of that, we got to do the Mr. Investigation with Mr. Checking Nigga Paperwork and the brother who do his in-depth, very critiquing, very elaborative excavation and just doing research. Du Sims the Don, man. Salute to that brother and salute to our very special guest. If you on Clubhouse right now, make sure you ping up, share the room, follow the mods. If you on stage, salute to you. If you in the chat, y'all know where it's at. We on live right now on YouTube Live. If you live right now with us right now, salute to you in the chat. To the Blue Wrench mob that's always on their job, man. Salute to you guys. One of the hottest lives on YouTube and one of the dopest rooms on Clubhouse. Y'all are tuning in right now to Du Sims the Don, Yael the Kiwe pop star, Damu Kiwe Conversations.
Well, you know the chat's where it's at, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Let's start it off. Acknowledge them before we get into the content. Allow everybody to get in here. Hit that like button on your way in. It's free, and everybody love free, even niggas with money. Big Gov, salute. Shout out to Detroit. Detroit's in the building. Tree Tips Media, salute. I hope you streaming this. Fam West, I hope you streaming this. Fam West TV, salute to you, man. Two Capone, what's up, baby? Salute, bro, salute. And Young Grown Baby Diggs, salute. You know Megan Davis is already in the building. The Henny gang, Henny Glasses and Active Chucks in the chat. Salute, I'm going to call y'all back. Hey, y'all, did you see the little contest they having on Instagram with you, bro? With the shades and the black hat? And yeah.
Hey, real quick, I want to salute the Henny girls, but the Henny, I'm sorry, I apologize. The Henny snipers, all the way from New York to LA to Alabama, everywhere. They're everywhere, man. To Cali, they just did a challenge, the Yael challenge, man. And I just want to say, I'm surprised that we had Selena looking like a little bit trying. We had I'm gonna call you back. We had a few others, man. Let me check her out real quick because they show was they put on the Yael apparel, you know what I'm saying, the hat and the shades. So we had I'm gonna call you back. We had Selena. We had another Henny sniper. I'm just like, wow. Allison Edits. Salute to everybody who's doing the challenge, man. Y'all know the Kiwe Pop Stars flattered. I appreciate y'all. Du Sims the Don is next. We gonna get your ass next, big head nigga. We get you. We gonna do the big head Du Sims.
Man, ain't nobody gonna be able to match this big old chrome dome. But salute to Money Grip. Salute to Active Chucks. To Damu Kiwe Conversation. Real ones with real content. The revolution will be televised. We are the revolution. Black Power. Salute, Money Grip. Lakeisha Green said, smash that like button. Salute. Well, look, we got a hell of a story, so I don't even want to wait. We finna get right into the content. Introduce y'all to Baldy, the tycoon tech mogul, ex-convict, my boy Louis Ziskin, the ex-kings. You know what I'm saying? What up, Luke?
What up? Eminem, what a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me on. Damu, thanks for having me on.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Du Sims said a lot about you.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
No, I was just saying. I'm just reiterating. Deuce elaborated a lot about you. He told me you was one of his good homies, a good dude, and I'm just like I said. I'm excited, very attentive for this interview today. Have a lot of questions for you. Can't wait to dive in, man.
Yeah, me and Eminem, we were up there. I learned about Fruittown Brims in MDCLA.
So,
Yeah, you and Nino Brim. We used to
fact.
play ball together on 7th South.
Yeah, well, Nino used to be against my team. You used to always try to go against me on the court, try to stack the deck. He used to get the homie Sinbad from A-Trey Gangster, right, who had a cold jump shot, cold athlete, great defense. And then Lou is a lefty, so he got that lefty jump shot, and he gonna butcher you. You're going to get hacked in this prison ball, right?
Yeah, also, let's keep it real, man. It was me against everybody. I was the only white boy out there, and none of you motherfuckers liked it when I scored or got a rebound. Ever. Y'all put me through the work too, homie.
Hey, definitely. So look, okay, before we get to me introducing you to the Fruittown Brims, me and Nino, Star Morgue, salute to you, gorgeous. But let us know where you come from so we can show the little contrast and how you was able to navigate multiple demographics, because you understand the thing that connects it all and that everybody want, and that's that money, man. Where'd you grow up at?
So I grew up in West Hollywood when I was younger, over by Gardner and Santa Monica, deep 18 territory, 18th Street Mexican territory. And then when my mom got back together with my stepdad, he was down in Venice, and that was all Shoreline Crip. So that's kind of where I grew up, and I ended up in all over LA, and then I ended up in Culver Junior High in 7th grade, and got thrown out of there for bringing a gun to school to get my
I didn't
Pac-Man
know
hat
about
back.
that. Why did you feel the need to bring a pistol to school, man?
Well, this kid stole my Pac-Man hat. Him and two of his boys threw me in the trash, and they took my hat. And Pac-Man had just come out, and it was super hot. Also, that was from my soccer team, so I just had to have that back. And that's when me and law enforcement started our dance that would go on for the next 30 years.
Right. So you graduate from high school. What was
I ended up going to one of those uh, boarding schools in 10th grade.
in
Actually,
Los
11th
Angeles?
grade.
In Los Angeles or Europe?
First in 10th grade, my family sent me to Israel for a year to school there. And that was cool, but I didn't do much school. In fact, I didn't get any credits, but I did learn how to sell hash. So back then in Israel, in like the mid 80s when I was there, there was no, like, you could walk from a lot to Taba, which was Egypt. So all these dudes, these American guys and girls who were over there with the American school for the year, they were all scared. So I went over to Taba, and I got a big thing of hash, threw it in my backpack, and I didn't even think about it, but that was the first smuggling I ever did. I just walked back across from Taba to a lot and then gave everybody their cut. What they didn't know was I got a big block. So for the next 10 days we were down there, I was they were paying me, and I was acting like I had to go back there, but I was just shaving them off another finger from this block I had. So yeah, that was the first smuggling. And then I got back in 11th grade. I had no high school credits. And my family sent me to a boarding school in Northern California called Cascade School. It's closed now. Basically, it was for fucked up rich kids on court orders. And I was neither one, because there's all kinds of Jews, but we were the broke motherfuckers. Uh, and there wasn't any broke Jews. So I
Hey,
was kind of my own car my whole life.
I've never met a broke Jew, so I guess this is the first for everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
a broken family. Dad, was doing what he could, but he was kind of a fuck up, and
Right.
at that time, and shit wasn't breaking his way. Not like he wasn't trying, but we all know how shit get, right? We all
So
want to be
man,
able to do everything, but sometimes we can't do everything, So, and if you're real, you remember the times you come up short. Those are the ones that stick with you because they bother you, and hopefully you don't end up in that situation anymore. And mom's working 2 jobs, and so it was typical one of those kind of households, and that's just how it played out. Anyway, I end up in that boarding school and end up doing 4 years of high school in 2 years, 1260 SAT, academic ride to USC, get to SC. I make it about a year and a half before I drop out. Long story short, basically, I saw we had to take a business ethics course. Like they have a liberal arts core, and then you can get into the business college, which is what everybody wanted to go to SC for at that time, myself included. But they make you take these liberal arts core classes first, your first 2 years, and basically general ed. And so one of them, you had to take a business ethics course, not business law, business ethics. And so they're going to tell you it doesn't matter if it's legal or not, there's an ethical way to do $1 million deals. And I'm in the parking lot one day and I see this motherfucker who's teaching this class, and he's driving a beat up fucking Honda, wearing fucking busted fucking topsiders and polyester pants. And that was the day I left college.
right,
'Cause I was
right,
like, if this fool is going to be telling me what to do ethically rather than legally, like, what the fuck is that?
right.
And I left college, and then I was kind of halfway in, halfway out the game, doing shit. Ended up just kind of doing whatever. If it was a legal scam, illegal scam, it didn't matter. If it was money, it was money. And I was kind of always one of those dudes who, I might be down 20 grand going into the last week of the month, but something's always gonna break where I'm gonna be able to pay the rent and the car payment by the first. I was never like, it always just worked like that. And people always found that funny, right? Because later when we hit, everybody acted like it was overnight, but they never appreciate the fact, like, you guys know, growing up and going through this type of shit, that's where you're getting your experience. So the shit you're able to do 10 years later is based on that 10 years where you weren't really going nowhere. You're making your connects, you're making your name, you're learning how to put different pieces together and try to keep out of the radar of the fucking feds, right? So, that's what happened, and people always think like you hit overnight, but that's not what happened. It was 10 years of beating around, 1 foot in, then 2 feet in, all the way in the game. And then, if you're successful and you're smart and you have balls, but you also have some brains to make sure that you're not doing free felonies all the time and you're actually making some money, then you got a shot.
That's definitely some Mark Zuck remind me of some Mark Zuckerberg said. He said everybody sees the successes that we've made at Facebook, but y'all don't remember the 100 failures along the way, right? And
Yeah. Well, y'all know. I mean, anybody listening to this knows you have good days and bad days, man. Not anybody who's trying to sell you that shit that every day from the time you hopped out on the corner or did your first deal or whatever it was cool is full of shit. There's a ton of bad days that make you appreciate the good days and hopefully teach you how to find more good days than bad going forward. But mother, you're dispensable at first. Before you have paper, before you have connects, before you have anything, you're kind of in the way.
right. Well, let's get to this. So now you finally say, I'm putting 2 feet in the game. I know this is my purpose and this is what I'm gonna do. How did that come about?
So yeah, my boy Damon Kidwell, who put it, he was working at Kinko's, and he had this Canon color laser copier came in, and he was super excited because he's this graphic design dude. Called the homies, everybody. Oh, we're gonna go down to Santa Monica. We'll stop by Damon's at Kinko's. Da, da, da. So everybody stops over there, and oh, look at all these colors and pie charts and graphics and this and that. And then he makes some copies, and they go back over to his desk. And I took a dollar bill out of my pocket, put it on the machine, and made a copy. I looked at it and I was like, all right. Next morning, I went to Bank of America in Santa Monica with an eraser mate pen. I bought 3 traveler's checks, and then, uh, and then, and then, as soon as I got out of Bank of America, I erased the signatures because I used the eraser mate pen. I went to Kelly Paper over on Olympic, which isn't there anymore, and I got clear Mylar like they used for those projections back in school when the teacher used to have that old projector that they write on with the marker,
Right.
right? So bought that clear shit, taped them on there evenly, and started printing traveler's checks. You could make $30,000 every 46 minutes.
Wow.
It took, so you're making 300 on a page. You copy the backs first, then the front, and then I don't know if you guys remember, but back then, before all this computerized stuff, they treated them things like cash. So if you went in to Ralph's or whatever market and you bought yourself a carton of cigarettes, it was like $20 back then, right? You got $80 and 420s coming back with that. So the more you shot, the more cash you had. And once that kind of happened in my life, then I really, until I came home from prison, I was both feet in the criminal world.
So now you all the way on the left. You having success, obviously, with the traveler's check. How did you say, I'm going to start importing and exporting drugs internationally, right? How did
So
you get to that?
Back, I'm looking at it like that's a big jump, bro.
yeah, so
Real
that
big.
was in my early 20s, and then I'm beating around, making a little money, making connects, doing things. But you know what? It all happened because of a broad. So I'm dating this broad who was a Miss Teen USA girl, and she ends up dating this dude, this Arab dude, Omar Al Kiyami. Um, she was engaged to him actually, and I'm banging her. And then he comes to town. I'm not with her anymore. She's with this other dude, and but she's one of them blonde showstoppers. If you're into that, like the Playboy thing, I'm into that type of shit, right? So she's like one of those showstoppers, and so she was a thing. And Omar gets to town, and he's like, oh, talking all kinds of shit. I'm like, dude, all the people at this table are my friends. They're not. They're here because you're paying, motherfucker.
Right.
Don't get out of. They didn't say out of pocket yet, but I was like, bro, don't make yourself a problem that you're not gonna be able to solve. And oh yeah, I was like, listen, I'll introduce you to a couple other chicks. That broad's with another dude, and it'll be funny. Let's see if we can make some drama or whatever, right? So I introduced him to a couple other girls. He goes home, and then that summer he calls me, and he says to me, "Hey, what are you doing this summer?" And I said, "Nothing." He's like, "Why don't you come to San Tropez?" And I was like, and all I'd heard is shit about San Tropez is that it's $80 for a bottle of water. This is like 1994, 95, 94, I think this was. And he's like, no, we'll cover everything, just bring some girls, da da da. Like, and I was like, bro, I ain't a pimp, man. And he's like, no, just promise us. These dudes were so funny. Just promise us you won't fuck them, and but you can do any and other chicks that you meet here. And I'm thinking to myself, God, how do they know I didn't fuck them before I came? Like, what's wrong with these people? And but whatever, cool. I told the girls, they're like, yeah, cool. We went, we all had a great time. Everybody had a great time. And we ended up there for a few weeks, and I ended up in London, and I'm at a party with some dudes.
Nino in the chat. Nino, I'm gonna drop the link. Come on up.
Nino Brim?
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm at a party in London with some Asian dudes who's supposed to be running shit, and they got that nasty yellow cocaine running around on a dish, and I'm like, man, I thought you guys were supposed to be running shit, man. And I was just talking shit because I'm kind of a shit talker. I have a big mouth. I've lost more fights than I've won because I have a big fucking mouth. But I have a big mouth. So anyway, I'm talking shit, just kind of joking, and they like took it all serious. Like, hey, mate, what the fuck? You taking the fucking piss? You can get better. You can. And I'm like, of course I can. I'm from fucking LA. Like that's some magical place, right?
Right.
But to everybody else in the world back then, it was a magical place. If you're from
Especially
LA,
when that shit was like 13 a key and all of that, right?
yeah, well, not only that, if you're from LA, you're a gay. Everybody from LA is a gangster. Everybody from LA is a, trafficker. Everybody from LA is a model or an actor or a sports person. There's no normal people in LA when you're in Europe back then in the late 80s or early 90s. Like it's just it's kind of funny. Um, but whatever, you ride the wave when it comes, right? So I said, yeah, fuck that. Of course, I'm from LA. Of course I can get better. I didn't even have a connect. I'd never bought a kilo of cocaine. But I get back and I talk to my boy Simon, who he used to sling grams. Drive around. One of them dudes has a 8, 10, 12, drives around, sells those, comes back home, picks up more, just on the pager 24/7 and doing his thing. So I talk to him. We get a bird and I go down to Rexall, right there by where the Beverly Center is now. That Rite Aid used to be called Rexall at Beverly and La Cienega. And I buy one of those police cars and one of those fire trucks, and I bring them home. The kids play with, bring them home, open them up, put a half a key in each, ship them FedEx to a friend of mine's building in London who was out of town, and I knew they had a doorman without telling him. But I knew they were out of town, so I knew they couldn't get in trouble. So anyway, it gets there. I fly to London because I got nobody working for me. I'm doing everything myself. I fly to London to follow the package, and I get to the doorman, and he's trying to hit me for 5 grand. English, which was like 7,500 back then, and I fucking didn't have it. I mean, you talk about everybody sees all these movies, fancy dope dealing shit. I was flying economy, busted, taking a cab 3/4 of the way and walking the rest because the money ran out, right? Like motherfuckers on fumes in another country. And so then I had to tell the dudes I was selling it to. Then of course they tax me, whatever. But I get there, I get works out, and then we got to bring the money back. So that's where the ecstasy really came in. That's where I got started, and we had some ups and downs from there. But the ecstasy came in actually secondary. Most people don't realize the ecstasy solved the free felony problem. Because if I sell the shit in London for English pounds, and then I got to smuggle the money back here, and this is what I tell Eminem all the time. I told Nino Brim this a bunch of times. I tell everybody I know this. You're doing a free felony smuggling that money back here because you can lose it the same as if it was dope. And it's not growing on the way. So
Right.
that's a free felony. That's a no-no. That just, you can't be doing that shit. It was one of the things that like shocked me when I got to prison, when I heard like all your guys' stories, the kind of work that y'all do for basically nothing. It's not like you're not getting paid properly for that type of behavior. Um, and yeah, so to me it was always very clear. You just don't do free felonies, and friends don't ask friends for free felonies. If you're making money, everybody's got to eat. And yeah, so that's where it started. And then you guys want to jump in anytime and which
Well,
direction you want to head on.
okay. So now we there. So now you figure out from the coke how the money turns into the ecstasy, and
Yeah,
then
so if you bring the coke back, right? I mean
uh,
the money back. Now you got to change it into dollars because the Mexicans weren't taking nothing but greenbacks back then. This is before the euro dollar. They don't want to hear nothing about English pounds or French fucking francs or anything like that, right? So you gotta have greenbacks again. So now you're changing it all over town. You're losing money on the exchange. You're leaving IDs everywhere. It's just fucking bad. So instead, ecstasy, we started bringing ecstasy back because when you bring that back, yeah, you're taking the risk that you can lose it, but once it gets here, it's worth a whole lot more. So you made, and then when you sell those, you have your dollars. So you didn't have to go running around changing everywhere. Now you got your complete circle where you're burning them up both ways. And that, from a from any kind of business analysis point of view, allows you to beat everybody. Because if you're running both ways, right, then you can beat anybody who's running one way. You can take them out of the game with price. they have no way or chance to compete with you, right? You have super competitive advantage, which creates a barrier to entry, which is basically how we ended up with a 3-year run from 97 to 2000, where, you know, the Fed said, let's make this clear. I have no way of knowing, and you know how they are, but they said 85 to 95% of the MDMA in the United States between 87 and 2000 was me and Tamer.
Jeez. Shout out to T Monk, man. That's
Damu Kiwe.
Tamer Ibrahim.
Tamer Ibrahim, my dear brother, my dude, my Egyptian fucking, I love him. We beat the prisoner's dilemma together. Motherfucker stayed strong. Just me and him. Everybody else fucking ratted, left us for dead. But me and him went to bat, and we're here
Damn.
today, and we're still partners and still best friends.
So y'all.
He said
let's
everybody
hear a
ratted and
little
left
bit
him for
about the
dead.
run. What you
Yeah.
say? Go ahead, yeah.
He said that everybody ratted and left him for dead. You know, that's the trigger for me. When you say the R word,
Yeah.
the rat word is a big trigger for me, man, because being in the field that you in right now, man, well, the field that you were in, and the fact that you made it through on the Forbes list, great thing. It's just like, bro, coming from a story like that, being in that field, I know it was a lot of ups and downs, toss and turns, and people just giving up on y'all left and right, and giving up y'all to the law at that.
And adding
So,
extras to make sure, because these motherfuckers get savvy when they're in there, right? When they're getting their
right.
story together, because that discovery doesn't match up at first, them 302 statements. So then all of a sudden, after a few statements, they start lining up. These fools start getting savvy. They start understanding the sentencing guidelines. Then they start adding shit on there to make sure you never come home. It's not enough they're going to take 20 or 30 from you. They don't even want to deal with it then. They're trying to put you away forever. And the government's happy to do it. And these, you know, and at least in my case, I
Yeah,
was
they
able to catch
definitely
them on
was.
some of the extras, but some dudes didn't. I met a lot of dudes who, you know, they're like, yeah, they were guilty and they were supposed to get 20, but their rats added so many extras to them, they were getting 30s, 40s, and lives.
Facts. So let's not put the barrel before the whatever it's called, the wagon before the horses. So let's get into some of this stuff when you and T is doing. We don't have to get into actual facts, just some of the great times that, because you're a little bit older than Tamer, right? And
Yeah, a few years older than T.
so Tamer's a young street punk at the time, right?
Yeah, bro. I mean, listen, if you want to go back to that time, I was 27, he was 22, 23, and it bothered the fuck out of me that he made his first million at the same time I did. But you know what? And we were a little bit competitive while we were going through all that. And another story I'll tell you about Tamer. And every time I tell this story, I wish it was me. Like, part of my brain says I got to tell people this was me, not Tamer, because it was so cool. But it was definitely Tamer. We were in Vegas at the Mirage. Me and Tamer, a bunch of friends, girls, this, that. Puffy comes rolling up to the crap table, because we got the crap table going. It's all fucking, you know, all kinds of action. And he comes up with his crew and he starts throwing out thousand money play, 10,000 money play. And then he's out of cash, so he calls for a marker. And Tamer is a quiet dude. He's a really humble, quiet dude. But this Puffy just kind of got on his nerves how he came up and was acting like he was. And Tamer pulls a knot out of his pocket while the dude's asking the pit boss for a marker and throws it at him and says, "You little light, bro, you need a loan." I wish that was me. That was one cool.
Hey, you gotta be an arrogant. And the crazy thing, Tamer told me that story. He was at that time. Diddy was fucking with J-Lo.
Yeah. The whole entourage was there. We were there doing our thing. Look, me and Tamer were there. We had our girls, our friends. Like, we were hanging out. We weren't bothering nobody. We were at the crap table. Sure, we're playing, you know, bigger money than most people, but we weren't in nobody else's shit. This fool comes walking up like we're just some fucking lames, and he's gonna, you know, bogart the table, maybe try to take our broads or something, right? And he didn't know what he walked into either, and he was just so arrogant about it. And then so Tamer, he's not the type of dude that normally does that. That's some shit normally I do. Like I said, I get beat up, I have a big mouth. Tamer doesn't usually do that, but he did that. That was fucking great.
Yeah. So now y'all having this hell of a run, great times like that, and then the
Yeah.
fans come into your life.
Well, then I had a nice house in Brentwood. We used to have parties like literally every day, every night. I mean, you can make up your own 90s music video. When them fools were making them videos in the early 2000s, that was us that brought that shit here. We brought the rave shit, Four Aces, all them raves out in Arizona. That was our other rap, Bobby Stewart. Remember him?
Oh, I
Kingpin
thought that
down
was
on
Kingpin.
Kingpin, yeah, that was him.
Oh, that's Bobby Stewart.
Yeah. Yeah. So all that shit that they were all rapping about, that was about us. We brought all that shit here, everything. The popping bottles, they didn't know what that was, spraying champagne on motherfuckers. We brought that from San Tropez in 97.
Right.
That's what they were doing over there. They weren't doing it here. In 97, bottle service was still, they would write your name on the bottle and bring it back next time you came to the club.
Right. So, matter of fact, let's not get over that real quick. So, Kingpin, he's doing all of the rave scenes in Arizona because you guys, your whole operation is spread across the United States, monopolizing the market, allegedly, right? And Kingpin ends up fronting some pills. I don't remember how many. I think it was 1 million or 2 million to Sammy the Bull, right?
So let's roll back on Kingpin. So what happened in the beginning is there was this other dude, Adrian, and Kingpin and Tamer and Al. And I was, I've been losing some shit and going into debt and this and that, figuring out how to get this done, right? You get one through, you lose some, this and that. So during the growing pains, I was, I told this dude, Bobby Stewart, I was like, look, you got my back. These are the connects. It was the only person I ever gave a connect to, like where I shared my connects other than Tamer. And but I felt like that was my obligation because this dude was allowing me to keep going even that I was crashing shit. He was providing blow at the time. Now we get up out of the debt and we're rolling, and he's kind of got a free ride right now. He's making 25% of every load just because he funded it in the beginning, and cool, bro. I mean, listen, man, I'm not one to renegotiate, and $10,000 on one day is not the same thing as $10,000 on another day. And I think sometimes people forget that when you really need it, that 10,000 might be worth 1 million. When you got 1 million, that 10,000 seems like nothing. But I think it's important. You always got to remember where you were, or like you guys say, where you come from, right? As far as the perspective goes of when you needed that and it was worth that, that's when that person came through. And it was worth that much at that time because nobody else was coming through. Otherwise, supply and demand would mean that you could have got it a bunch of other places, right?
Right.
So, I think I try to always remember the value at the moment rather than later on once everything's cool and you start getting bitter that a fool's making a bunch of money doing nothing. But anyway, Bobby Stewart, then after everything's rolling and he's just collecting without doing anything, he took some money and gave it to Adrian and gave Adrian my connect
Backed up.
behind my back and sent him up there on his own. So then I had $2 million worth of his shit, and somehow magically it got lost.
Wow.
Yeah, and then when he got to MD, now so but I told him he came over to the house because Tamer came over to the house. Everybody would come over to the house on like Thursday or Friday, whatever, and we'd chop up if we had to do some cash between us or whatever, right? And Bobby Stewart, I was like, yeah, you got 2 million, but you don't have 2 million. That's gone. It got lost.
Right.
And he looked at me, never even asked for any paperwork. Tamer thought there was going to be like shooting and shit. And I was like, bro, this dude ain't going to do a motherfucking thing. He's going to know exactly why the fuck. And yeah, he didn't do nothing. And then sure enough, this motherfucker goes and he gets this dude Adrian and him. They get some other connect. They start rolling, and they end up getting wrecked. Now the Sammy the Bull thing was one of Mike's customers.
Mike
This
Deary.
dude, Mike Deary, the main rat, Syrian dude. Um, he was selling to this dude Andre Wagner, known as the White Boy. That dude was selling to them kids that were under Gravano. He's a rat though. Mike didn't know it. Mike was on the run already. And this dude ran up a huge tab with Mike like these rats do. And then as soon as he got as much as he could get out of him, he ratted on him and Gravano.
Wasn't
So I'm
he
watching this
supposed
shit
to
on
be a
TV.
what's that shit called? Witset?
Yeah. So I'm watching this shit on TV, Gravano getting busted, and I see the pink pentagons. We had in the shape of pentagons, pink pentagons, like not a stamp, but the pills were actually shaped like that, right? And double stacked. So I'm like, I knew those were ours. Nobody else had those. And I was like, how the fuck did this rat get our shit? And nobody knew. Like, I didn't know he was so that dude was so far down the chain. We didn't know, right? Like, it took us until we got busted and saw the discovery. That's how we figured out how he got the shit.
So
And they were
okay,
putting him on like he was some major fucking player. Dude, that dude was so far down the chain, we didn't even know how he got it.
right. So okay, now you get busted first, right? How did this go down?
No, Mike gets busted.
Oh yeah,
Mike gets busted, John gets busted, a couple girls get busted, like you know, and they still don't know I exist. They have no idea that I exist. None. And they got a chart, they've got a earnet. It was called, I think, Operation Red Tide. But they had Tamer boy. Fucking they had his picture right at the top of the fucking thing, man. And international task force. Everybody was involved. They had phones, they had everything. And they caught Tamer in Amsterdam. He escaped. They showed up at his building in Santa Monica, and this fool, his boy told him they were downstairs in the lobby coming up. And this fool jumped out the balcony with 400 grand in a backpack into a tree, climbed down the tree. And remember Alex Proctor, the dude on the Pelicano case?
yeah, the old man.
Yeah, so Proctor drove him in the trunk to Mexico.
Oh, I didn't know Proctor did that, bro.
Yeah.
That's why he was so tight with
Yeah. Yeah, so
okay.
he was there on the Pelicano shit, the Anita Bush, fucking that reporter and the whole Steven Seagal thing and the Hollywood
Right,
the dude Pelicano who settled the first settlement for Michael Jackson.
right.
He used to do, all the that's the dude they made Ray Donovan about. Ray Donovan was based on Anthony Pelicano.
Yeah, but no, I definitely remember the old man. He
Proctor, yeah. Remember how strong that fool was?
bro, that old man used to have the mats, socking the mats and doing all kind of different
Yeah.
stuff. You know what's crazy? He was the first one that set the publishing company I got right now because I was doing music. He was the first one that sat me down and said, "You're going to need your own publishing company if you're writing songs." Right hand to God, bro. That's
Yeah.
crazy. But so Tamer get
So
away.
Proctor smuggles Tamer out.
Uh-huh.
But Tamer, listen, man, once you got your hand on the game and you got product and shit, Tamer had a million pills in Amsterdam in the stash, money all over the world still. This motherfucker wasn't gonna stay in Egypt, dude. He jumps back into Europe. They pick him up, they follow him, and then they bag and gag him, coming out of the American hotel. And by the time they unbagged him, he was happy it was the police, dude. He thought he was dead.
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
shouldn't laugh about that. I mean, laughing about it now, but motherfucker thought he was done, like he was kidnapped and that was it, right? And then turns out to be the feds, and he was like, "Man, as crazy as it sounds, I was relieved when it was the motherfuckers."
but that's where I met Tamer. right? So he
Yeah,
gets
so Tamer was in Amsterdam in Vught prison, their maximum security, like pre-trial shit. Basically, the shoot for about a year, fighting extradition before he came. Now, at this time, while he's fighting extradition, I got the first indictment with Al as my co-defendant.
right. And
So that
I
was
already got the 30 years that by the
no,
time Taker made it to
yeah.
MDC.
That's why I was on the first. I was on the first, and I had two indictments. I was the only one with two of them. Right. Tamer was my co-defendant on the second one. Al was my co-defendant on the first one, and so by the time Tamer finished fighting extradition and got here, we'd already lost the first indictment, and I've been sentenced to 30 years.
Right. Money Grip said, but I was addicted to them. I used to pop 2 or 3 a day and go to work like that, drink a gang of Gatorade. Thanks to your contributions, bro. Hey,
My pleasure.
yeah. But so Tamer gets to MDCLA. I was a porter, and he had been in that hole, his bald spot showing, hair growing in, beard. He looked tired. You would think that he was like a whiner. You would never believe this guy was a multimillionaire international drug trafficker. So I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? You just got here. I know you need to jump in the shower. Here's a bar of soap, a razor, man, some shower shoes. You don't owe me nothing, right? Just being who I am, understanding how it is when you first get somewhere. And he's like, all right, man, thank you. He's like, I want to talk to my co-defendant. He's here, right? I said, your co-defendant? He said, yeah, he's a Jew guy. His name's Louis Ziskin. I'm like, nah, I don't know Lou, but we could track him down. Just go ahead and handle your business. So he went and jumped in the shower, shaved out, came out looking like a total different dude. And I had called up to 7 South because my co-defendants was up there by that time already. Nino Brim and Baby Bomb, right? 7 South was the gangster floor. Hands down, they already knew. So when you get there, so I'm like, hey, is it a Jew dude up there? His co-defendant just came looking for him. His name Tamer. He said, oh, you talking about Lou? I said, yeah. He said, them the ones with the big X case. They got an article in the Vibe magazine. 4-page article.
Yeah.
4-page article in the Vibe
It was a cover story, but it was called the X Games. It was in the month that Lisa Left Eye Lopes died.
Yeah. Recipes to Left Eye. So
yeah.
So I'm like,
they burnt Ashanti. Ashanti came out first on the cover, and then Left Eye died, so they burnt her for the rest of the month out the cover and put a new cover on the same mag of Left Eye.
Right, yeah, it's a collector's item now, just because Lisa Lopez, Left Eye Lopez, passed away. So it's like $500 for that issue. What a Kawinky did.
Is that the one that burned down Andre Rison's fucking house?
Yeah.
I remember we were in when that happened, right? We were laughing about that shit.
Right.
This bitch burnt the whole fucking house down.
Yeah, she was crazy, bro. On some gangsters. She changed her rap name to Nina and was running with Suge right before she passed away. But back to the story. So Baby Bomb gets Lou to the thing. I think we went to Fade cell, Fade from Long Beach, right? Went to his cell. Tamer went and hollered at Lou. And then he was like, hey, man, thanks, man. I got to holler at my co-defendant. I'm going to be going up to 7 South. So I'm already trying to get up there with Nino and Baby Bomb and Tiny Bo. Rest in peace, Tiny Jimbo. All my co-defendants are already, they made it to 7 South. So I'm trying to get up there with it. And they came to get Tamer. The day they come get Tamer, I see Stump Taylor, right? Shout out Stump Taylor.
Stump Taylor.
Stump Taylor was the counselor. So I said, hey, Stump, man, I'm trying to get up there. My co-defendant's up there on your floor. Tamer already packing his stuff. He stopped and looked at me and said, this ain't nothing but gangsters up there. You sure you want to go up there? I said, yeah. He said, pack your shit. I packed my shit so quick to get up there. So me and Tamer go up there at the same time. And then Tamer introduced me to Lou. I introduced them to Tamer to my co-defendants. From there, I let Lou take over and tell you what we were doing in MDCLA. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we ran the weed exchange there. All the weed came to 7 South. From like every
I was
floor.
an employee, technically, not on the books, but off the books, right?
Yeah, Eminem was holding the sack.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was the
big
exact
sack.
words was hey, I don't give a fuck what you do with the weed. You can sell it, do whatever you want, but I don't want to run out of shit. If it's any weed that comes in the building, the bank account's open, buy it all up. I don't want to run out. I've got 30 years and I'm fighting the federal government. Right?
Yeah. And also, motherfuckers, man, they do stupid shit when that shit gets out. I like to buy it all just so everybody else didn't get it, so we don't all get piss tested all the time. Because these dumb fucks, they don't know how to be covering the smell. They get so excited they got some weed. They tell their fucking grandma on the telephone. They do some stupid ass shit in there. So I like to try to keep it all amongst us, right? Or just in the house. So that we could avoid the piss test fucking every week.
Right. So we got that going on. Couple situations, you know what I'm saying? But I'll let you talk about some of the things you remember because it ain't about my memory. You know what I'm saying? It's about
MDC's MDC, right? I mean, it's fucking you got all kind of stupid shit happening there all the time because you got dudes, truthfully, like me, who never really been in before, right? I was a little smarter, I think, so I was able to watch how shit happened. But other fools come in thinking it's like, I don't know, like a youth hostel or something. I don't know what they think. And then you got other dudes who've been down their whole life. You got dudes who are back on violations. You got dudes who are on appeal. So you got a crazy mix of what's going on there. And then you got the highest level anxiety because everybody's looking over their shoulder, man. Is this fool telling? Is this fool telling? Is this fool telling? The minute you don't see your co-defendant for a minute, you're like, where is that motherfucker? Motherfucker went to court today. He had court. I didn't have court. What the fuck? Did it? Like, that's just going on 24/7. So there's this massive, massive pressure cooker, right? And in between that, you're working out and playing ball and this and that, and shit's gonna happen. I mean,
and getting your ass whooped in pinochle.
Yeah, well, I was whooping everybody. I didn't get whooped.
But no, definitely was you're seeing.
Dude, nobody won as many bags as me and Killer from Venice.
Killer's a dump truck, bro.
Bro, nobody won as many bags as me
was carrying Killer. You carried a dump truck to the Kentucky Derby.
Bro, listen, man, you get there as a team, you get the sack as a team, you take the credit as a team.
Killer definitely shout out free Killer, man. KG Kill Game.
He's free. He's free.
Oh, he got out?
Yeah, bro, he got out, man. I was just talking to him last week.
Oh yeah. I got.
He got 9 more months on paper. That was funny, right? They're like, oh man, they're going through their RICO case, right? Like Shoreline. And Killer comes one day, he's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna tone down my nickname from Killer to KG. And I'm like, oh yeah, what does that stand for? He's like, Kill Game. And I'm like, oh, that's how you're toning your nickname?
it's still Kill Game. But KG counted everything, trumps every suit. But what it was, he's the alleged killer on the indictment, right? He's facing and have all that time, so he stresses. So that's when his mind and he'll be like, man, I tripped out, man. My mind was somewhere else. My mind just go. That's what it was. He definitely knew how to play. He definitely counted everything. But shout out to KG, man. I definitely want to holler at him.
Yeah, he's good, peeps. Yeah, he's got 9 more months on paper, man. He got that's what they did to him. They did the same. They did the shit to him where they hit him for the conspiracy. And then they said the bodies as like 404B evidence without actually trying him for the bodies. So they gave him 3 lives on top of a 30 or a 40, right? Like for bodies that they never actually tried him for. Shit they just found in the PSR or whatever. Like, and that's what Trump did. Trump said, no, no, no. You want to put a motherfucker away for a body, you got to try him for the body. You want to put a motherfucker away for the dope, you got to try him for the dope. And that's how them
All
fools
that
got to come
ghost
home.
dope, all them fake bodies in a statement and facts, and they still sentence you as if you've been tried for it, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. How many times you see? Remember that fool Clumsy from 38, the
Yeah, I remember
Sereno dude? This
him and
motherfucker is just on the phone lying to some broad about how he's doing a 10-kilo move, and they got him for that.
Well, I didn't even know. Well, they
Yeah,
were
he was
moving weight.
just lying. This fool was just lying, Jack and Wreck. Because Caveman told me, he's like, dude, this fool never have 10 keys in his life. We could never let him have 10 keys because he fuck it up and you got to kill him. Like, he's never done a 10-kilo deal ever. Nobody give him 10 keys.
Wait, what?
This,
I think he. Well, if Caveman said he didn't, he didn't, because Caveman was the head of the whole fucking indictment. Shout out
yeah,
to Caveman from 38th Street, man. I
yeah,
I
he's a
knew
solid
Caveman
dude
from the
too,
street,
man.
bro. My baby mom, my son mother, that's where she grew up at in the 38th Street. So I had been to his house, ate carne asada, all of that. You feel me? But
Yeah,
let me see.
he's
Oh,
a good dude.
let's talk about this situation that happened with the Miss Abram and Gabby. What was his name?
Oh, yeah, Gabby, Ben Naim, Israeli dude, fucking rat. Miss Abram, though, she was a really nice lady cop, but she had a really bad attitude. Remember, everybody thought she was the worst bitch, period, right? Like
Right.
it was Lily from Long Beach cracked this broad, man. This young kid with his fucking abs and his workout and his muscles, a light skinned fucking high yellow dude, fucking she's dark as fuck, and now she got this high yellow dude all after her and shit. He put in the work, man. He was whispering to her all the time, and it took 2 turns of her shifts. Remember, she was there for 3 months, and she left, and she came back,
Came back.
and that's when he got her. And yeah, she started bringing, he started hitting it, and she started bringing us stuff in. And then Gabby Gabby told the feds like the Tamer had phones and this and that, right? And I told Tamer the phone thing never goes good in prison because I never seen anybody that has a phone where it ends well because nobody throws this shit away. Somebody always gets busted with it, right? Like nobody ever uses it for one call and throws it out. The minute a phone's there, something bad's gonna happen. Now, I know they're important and fools need them or whatever, but they're also an indicator that, like some shit's going to go down. Kind of like in the streets when the violence becomes daily, it's no good anymore because now you're bringing heat and you're not doing work anymore. You're not making money anymore. You're doing violence now, right? So when there's too much of that, no work's getting done. Just like when there's a phone in MDC, it's going to end bad.
Right. So
So
let's
yeah,
go
so
ahead.
I was worried about it, so I took the phone from Tamer. I'd never used the phones, and I called a couple unindicted co-conspirators, and I said like some crazy shit where if they ever tried to use that phone against Tamer, they would basically be undoing the whole case because the things I said to these people, they'd also have to take as evidence and as candid of my testimony without being able to be cross-examined actually. And I blew up the whole thing, like some key points of their case, which would have undone the 30 years that they already had on me and blown up this second case. So they never actually used the phones against Tamer, who was trying to put a hit on Asaf allegedly trying to put a hit on Asaf, a
And
rat
Israel.
Israeli dude who owed him 2 million, stole 2 million. Um, and yeah, so that was actually good that never came out. We got that fixed.
Right. So how did Gabby set up the whole shit with the phone? Because he came to me on the dirtbag. So I was the weed holder, but I had more than the weed. I think it was tamer hair growth. Remember, he had
the
the
Biore pads. He remember those nose. He had those Biore pads.
Man, all kind of stuff that you don't have in jail. We got all that shit. Plus all of the weed and
alcohol, street alcohol,
and street alcohol. Salute.
Yeah, we were we bro. Nobody lived like we did in 7 South.
Right. And
now maybe the old days, back in the old days in the feds, but nobody in the modern feds did what we did.
Well, I don't know. The Russians, remember the Russians tried to break out out of MDC and they had the camera and they were filming it. And
but see, that's what I mean. Flash in the pan, motherfucker. Okay, so these dudes, right? Think about this. These motherfuckers, they get the right screw, they get the window open, they get a broad to come fucking bring them tools, drills, everything, right? And what else do they send in?
On every floor, they got the last room on every floor because it goes up, right? Yeah. And they got the last room so that they could dig holes to get out and break out of jail. But
yeah,
go ahead.
So anyway, these dudes got that. They get their fucking Hilti, their power tools, everything. And then what do these dumb fucks do? They also bring in fucking speed and cocaine. And these motherfuckers start partying, making videos, telling the warden to fuck off, haven't even done the work yet, and then they get busted.
Right.
And they never got out. You know, they're never getting another crap.
They told the white boy Blue the last day. I think they told the white boy Blue.
Yeah, but why were they doing speed and cocaine for 3 days? It doesn't matter who they told or didn't tell. They were supposed to be gone 48 hours before that. Instead, they wanted to show off and party in prison. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's
you can't make that right to me. That's just some dumbass shit, bro. You want to leave your homies some shit, you leave and leave it on your bunk for them and go. But once you got that shit, bro, once you got power tools and everything else, you got no business partying there anymore. You're supposed to be about your business of fucking leaving.
Facts. And I think they were facing like murders and that.
Yeah, because like, you know what their thing was? They were the first ones who did the kidnaps and then made you pay them in a foreign country.
Okay. I remember they had
right. They wanted to get paid in a foreign country. So like I
think we lost Lou. Welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversations. We got my boy Louis Ziskin in here, reminiscing, man.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
So you get a dude kidnapped in Kansas, and then they'd ask for payment in China, so you couldn't track them down, right? And so that's what these Russians were doing. That was their ring. So they were looking at forever, bro. So you got power tools to get out. You got a ride. You got outside help. You got everything in already. It's time to get to work. And these motherfuckers tell the broad to send them some alcohol, some fucking cocaine, and some meth, and a video camera, which was totally not necessary, so that they could party and make fuck you videos to the warden. And look who laughed last on that one, motherfucker.
The warden got the last laugh because they were making fuck you videos because they expected to leave, but they should have been gone.
Yeah. So, now we were doing shit to the warden too. Like, remember Christmas? They get the fucking those chocolate strawberries and them Danishes for their party. So we paid the Mexicans in food service to steal the shit for us. And we were sitting there eating them in the unit, lockdown, right? Looking through the window while they're searching cell by cell to fucking try to find the shit. That was fun. Like, not giving a fuck at all. Like, literally standing by the door, eating the fucking chocolate strawberry, watching them searching the cells downstairs, knowing it's going to be an hour before they get upstairs. This shit will be gone.
I'm going to drop this. Go ahead, y'all. I'm going to drop this for Melly Mel. He was in MDC with us. I think I was in 6 South with him. He didn't never make it to 7. But you might know him. He knows some of the same.
Wait. You talking about you talk? Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm politicking. You talking about Melly Mel from the east side of Compton?
Yeah, the hood.
Don't bring that dude up here, man. He be politicking, man. He the hood postman.
The hood postman.
We doing politics?
Yeah, oh yeah, we always politicking for sure, bro.
Oh
We always
man.
politicking for sure.
But Melly Mel, good people.
No, most definitely.
But back to the Gabby thing. I wanted to move on, but I wanted to finish that one because I still don't got everything how it happened, but I remember a lot. So Gabby
got his own phone, right? And he got another phone from the feds. He told the feds about it. The feds got him another phone to have Abram bring in.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the feds got him
in the jail, bro.
Wait, time out. Let me ask you this. So he got the feds to bring him phones in the feds?
He told
we had the dirty cop, Miss Abram, that Lily, the kid from Long Beach, was banging. So he already got a phone, but then he told the feds about it, and the feds gave him the next phone. So when Abram went to his people to pick up the shit, it was the phone that the feds had given him. Now, this became a big thing, and this is how we know it really happened, was because MDC got mad that the United States Attorney's Office did that without telling them, using one of their dirty cops without telling them, and putting a phone in the building without telling them.
Damn.
Melly Mel, salute.
What's going on? What's going on with you?
What's up, Melly Mel?
Hey, what's up, Lou, man? Let me find out, Lou, you forgot about me and you in F Unit in Terminal Island.
I totally did until right now when I heard your voice. My bad. But Mel, you know, there's a lot of black dudes running around talking about Melly Mel.
Right. What's up, Lou? How you been, man?
How you been, bro?
I've been good, man. You buying up all the damn chocolate milk in Terminal Island.
And the Captain Crunch, don't forget that.
What's been happening, man? How Tamer doing?
Tamer's doing good, man. He's doing good.
Man, tell him I send my love, man.
Yeah, we got to get him on, man. We got to get him on.
Man, that's definitely, man. You got to, man, we got to hook up, man. I got a channel.
Are you out in LA right now?
Man, yeah.
Oh, M, you can go ahead, slide in my digits. No problem.
I got you.
Man, what's up with you? What's up,
he got his
Mel?
podcast
what's
too,
going on? Y'all, what's happening, man?
Man, what's up, big dog? Hey, listen, I've been waiting to talk to you and your peoples again, man. I know y'all be busy. You see
man,
me over
you're
here.
the internet pop star, man. You can drop me anytime.
Hey, listen, you better knock it off, man. I've been waiting to tap it up with y'all, man. I know y'all be busy, man. Hey, it's always a blessing tapping in with y'all, man. You too, Melly. I appreciate you stopping through. Blessing us with your presence, man. Making sure you dropping that mail on us, that hood mail on us, man. Drop that hood mail on them.
Man, that's it, man. You bring the bell, I'll bring the mail.
Oh, yeah. Salute.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
what's
man,
going on with you, Mel? What are you up to these days?
Man, I'm doing I got a channel too called The Hood Post, man, and you know, I'm messing with these trucks as well, and I got a couple other things. I got a young artist on the rise. She doing well in the industry, so yeah, I'm doing okay, Lou.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm super glad to hear you're out and free and happy and healthy, man. There ain't many of us. Most motherfuckers be fucking up and going back.
Man, no, man, I can't do that no more. I say, man, this is how I look at it, man. I ain't no more good at that, so why go back to doing it again? They caught me, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I ain't no good at that no more, so I ain't gonna do that no more. I got to find another route.
Yeah, well, the game done changed, right? Like, you know, listen, I didn't come out of the streets, right? But and funny enough, this might sound funny to y'all, but you know, television educated. I didn't think motherfuckers ratted like they did. I didn't think that. You know, when I got busted and this all went down, that was like news to me that was going down in that way.
Man,
like,
look at all the people
I
that
never
Bird
knew
was
that.
telling on up there with y'all, Lou. Y'all had Bird up there, right up there with y'all, telling on everybody.
On everybody.
Oh,
on everybody, and not only that, but
South?
the dude who was fucking the dude whose case he was on, who he wanted Joker from Nutty Block to get Bird.
That
right?
was your old boy.
Yeah, that's my co-defendant.
Damn.
Yeah. So
Me and
anyway,
Gangsta on the same case.
Damn.
so then anyway, but Gangster saw Bird in the visiting room
Yeah,
and didn't do nothing. So
right.
then Joker said, "Fuck that."
I
Uh-oh.
Remember
remember.
that?
You
I
know what?
remember that.
I don't
But
even
I
know what
remember
happened
this
to
too,
Joker.
and I hope y'all don't forget this. Bird slept in that last room in the back of 7 South, and he had a big ass knife, and he said, "Yeah," what he said? "Yeah, I told, and I dare one of y'all motherfuckers to do something."
Wow.
But then
What?
but then there was some other shit because on 7 North, one of his big homies off the Vine from Grape, right? He was off the Vine, right?
Right.
Showed up and was like, trying to talk all that shit down and like had him a number under his wing and this and that, talking to Bird through the door every day, bro. You don't remember that?
Man.
Damn.
Yeah, they didn't want. They didn't really want
Hey
to meet
Lou,
up
that
with
dude you
Bird.
was talking about was Ben Naeem.
Ben Naeem, Gabby Ben Naeem, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that was Gabby name, Ben Name. So you remember the story of Melly Mill?
Of course I do. I remember the Russian story. I remember Earl Rubin, the Earl Clue. Remember Earl Rubin tried, what did he do? Kill himself, right?
Yeah, yeah, man. Irv Rubin, that was crazy.
He was part of the Jewish Defense League. He killed himself.
Yeah, see, it's crazy because a lot of people out here, like being Jewish and around the Jewish community, they don't believe that. And I'm like, listen, motherfucker, I was in the building. I was
Yeah,
in
exactly.
the
That's a
building.
true story, Lou.
And
Herb
he
killed
killed
himself.
himself. I knew
Yeah.
people, I knew Mario Quintero, the Mexican dude, Carl Quintero's nephew. Um, God, where was he from? I forgot right now. Sereno, but he was on 6 with Irv, and me and him were pretty tight. And he told me, man, that fool jumped. He been acting crazy. Now the other little dude who got whacked in Phoenix, his co-defendant, had told on him.
Earl Klugel.
Yeah, remember Earl told on him. That's
Right,
why Irv jumped,
right.
right? And so that was. I mean, I'm not laughing about it, but I'm laughing just historically. Like that's what happened. Like and so
Yeah,
then
Earl,
Earl, the white boys fucking got Earl in Phoenix, hit him
right.
with that fucking cinder block and wiped him out. That was done.
Yeah,
And
Earl couldn't take the pressure, man. The pressure was too overwhelming for him.
but man, them boys like everybody else, bro. Like if everybody stays quiet, 80% of people will go home.
Yeah.
20% are still stuck because they got caught with this shit in their hands, right? And motherfuckers just don't realize this, right? Like, if everybody just shuts the fuck up, I can't tell you which 80, but 80% of you collectively are gonna walk.
Man,
It
hey,
makes me
Luke,
crazy.
everybody don't know that you used to party with what's the girl name? The
Paris,
hippie girl, Paris, and all them. They don't know about
yeah.
all the parties.
There's a book called 6 Degrees of Paris Hilton. You can I'm in there.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I remember you telling me about that. But you
Yeah.
see, Lou done went from moving all that weight out, in and out of the country. Look at this now, right? This is Louis Ziskin today. Let me show you what he on. How drop-in CEO got to work with Lyft. This is a Forbes magazine, right?
Yeah.
This is Forbes. Got to work with Lyft, Hiscox, and Beasley.
Oh,
So
man.
So
this
Hiscox and Beasley are insurance companies in the Lloyd's of London network, where motherfuckers like Beyonce goes to insure her legs or some shit, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Lloyd's of London is the stuffiest old school last place you're gonna find a convict, with a tech company in there. And we got in there, and it was because I got a partnership with Lyft. And so that's how we got into work with Hiscox and Beasley for drone coverage of catastrophe areas, because Drop In was the first company to live stream from drones with very low latency. And again, that was like criminal thinking, right? Because when I was home, how that came up is I was reading the FAA proposed regulations for commercial drone pilots. Drones were just getting big, like DJI, where you could buy them for $500. They had the 4 propellers. Remember back
Right.
then, like 2013,
Right.
14. They didn't even have a license yet. Nothing. You could just
Yeah,
buy them and
now
fly them.
you gotta have a license and everything to fly drones, man. They own you.
Yeah. So what I saw when they came out with the proposed drone regulations was they said, well, you can the pilot has to have the drone within his line of sight and can't go over 400 feet. Those were the first 2 regulations, and you need to be a licensed drone pilot. So I said, okay, cool. We don't need to control the drone. We just need to control the guy who's controlling the drone. So if the dude who's controlling the drone is live streaming to my platform and it's low latency, then the insurance company could tell him in real time, fly right, fly left, da da da, etc. They could take pictures, video of chillers on roofs. They wouldn't have to send people up on ladders, stuff like that. And then we did the same thing, same tech with just a camera phone, where when you call your insurance company, you say, hey, I got water damage in my kitchen. We say, hey, instead of telling you somebody's going to come out or we'll get back to you next week, we say, hey, we're sending you a text right now. Click on it. It's going to open your camera. You start live streaming the damage to us, right? And then now you might say, well, where did Lyft come in? Well, in catastrophe, hurricane, shit like that, right? Where there's problems, Lyft drivers are already there. They live there too, right? In So you didn't need to ship them in. So those are people who can be the insurance company's eyes during catastrophes. And catastrophes is where they get taxed the most, because motherfuckers are robbing and stealing and
So what
fucking.
you're saying, you like what they call in trucking, you a broker.
Well, I guess so. Well, we were a SaaS platform, so you get our technology that will allow you to do
Yeah.
this, and we're
Yes.
the middleman. You're just going to pay us every
That's
month
what
for
a
having our
broker is.
platform.
That's why I use
Yeah,
the term broker. They the middle. You're the
yeah,
middle.
yeah. But you're dependent on the tech. Like, we got you locked in. Once we're integrated, you can't go nowhere else.
Right. See.
So you're going to pay, for 10 years. Get a 10-year
Information, man.
contract.
Knowledge is king, man.
Yeah. So
Right.
when you go into industries like insurance, or probably even trucking, or anything that's an established industry, if you can integrate yourself into a part of the process, then they're stuck with you, bro, because they just can't spend the money to go backwards. They got to wait until something better than you comes along, that's so
Exactly.
much better than you that it justifies the expense of ripping you out to put something new in. And
Right.
it's bean counter shit, right? It's not
Right.
like us. We look at something, oh man, this fucking blows better than that. That's all I need to know. Fuck off with that yellow shit, right?
And you're right, Lou,
Businesses don't look at it like that.
because things are so much different now. If you got a good system, it's very hard for you to rip that system out and go to something else if it don't make sense. Because you're right. If it's super better than what's already known, then you're willing to make that investment. But if it's like going across the board or equal to the same thing, or you just don't like this guy and you like that guy better, nah, you're not doing it. You just
Yeah,
stay with the
same
guy
shit.
you
Like,
got.
if me and you are slinging on the street, right, and we know each other for 5, 10 years, and we never had problems, but somebody comes to me and can get me a bird for $500 cheaper than you, I'm gonna keep paying you 500 more, because
Right,
we already got that experience.
right,
We're already smooth. We ain't fucking with that
right.
right now. But if dude comes to me for 5,000 less, then me and you are gonna have a talk, bro. And if you can't match that, then I got a new
Yeah,
supplier.
yeah, then we gonna do some movement. We got
Yeah,
some movement.
right. Same shit. I tell people all the time, it's the same shit in the real world as it is on the street.
Right,
It's just the words and the language you use. Like, here we could talk freely and shit, right? But I go put a suit on and I'm around a bunch of fucking VC fucking tight ass motherfuckers. You would never think that I was in prison or talk like this. I sound like Kamala Harris. I got a whole different accent, right? Like, it's just a different accent, but it's the same shit.
yeah.
Hey,
It
Uncle
literally is the
Mala
same
came with
shit.
that fake accent, trying to fit in, huh?
No, it's not even fake. It's just if I understand how I look at it is, you want to speak to people, communicate with people in a way that they're comfortable to communicate back with you, right?
Right.
If you try to dominate people and tell them that they have to speak a certain way or behave a certain way or this or that, right? That's like what George Steinbrenner did with the Yankees, make everybody shave, and that worked for him. For me, I just want people to understand what I'm trying to sell because I believe they'll want to buy. So whatever language I got to put that in, I'm prepared to put that in. I don't need it to be any specific way. It's the same shit, it's the same product, right? Whether it's dope, whether it's software, whether it's whatever, I'm selling what I'm selling. But if I can relate to people in a way where they feel comfortable to have a conversation or understand that I understand them a little bit, right? Because when you speak to people, like when you speak Spanish to Mexicans, when you speak how we're speaking, when you add a little street lingo into a normal business conversation, that's a black thing, dude. That's not what white people do, right? You do a little Spanglish, that's what the Mexicans do. But when you, as someone like me, who people don't feel threatened by, when I do that, they know that I understand them a little bit. And now the conversation can continue. So that's always been my way.
Right.
It's a good
I don't
way.
know that that works for everybody because, you know, you got to keep it real to be able to do that.
Hey,
But
whatever. Did you remember what happened to Shlomo and Iffy and all those guys?
Shlomo went to, I saw him fucking 5 years later, 6 years
The
later
tall
in
one. The
Otisville.
tall one.
In Otisville.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in Otisville and he was trying to get that treaty transfer. And yeah, he was man, Shlomo was a crazy one, dude. The
Yeah.
eyes.
Man,
Remember the
they called me
eyes?
the tall one. They called me the tall one. I'm trying to
Yeah.
get back to Haifa. He said, I'm getting back
Wait,
to Haifa.
No, they don't
wait,
call you the tall one, they call you Bug Life, motherfucker.
hey, wait. So with Slow-Mo was the tall one. They
With the
got
eyes, dude, the Bug Life eyes. Bro.
they had the pseudoephedrine case, right?
He's like,
Right.
he used to tell everybody that they call me the tall one. And I'm like thinking about, no, motherfucker, they call you fucking Bug Life, dude.
Okay, so you and Tamer started drop in after you guys start that. You ended up going back to jail or being arrested again. Let's talk about
Well, first what
indictment.
happened
Uh-huh.
is T caught me a case. I'm on paper still. I got like 6 months left on paper. And Tamer calls me one afternoon. I just started dating my wife at the time. It's fucking just actually I hadn't even started dating her yet. Hadn't met her. It was about a month before I met her. Tamer calls me and he goes, "Man, that motherfucker Al, our rat." Like Tamer was the best man at his wedding. This was the dude who, after we won our appeal, he won his.
You
He
talking
turned
about
rat
Al?
on me and
That
Tamer
Turtle
at the
Island?
last. Al Mayman, yeah. Yeah. So he turns rat at the after we won the appeal. So
Wait. After y'all win the case, he start telling?
yeah.
What are you? That's so fucking backwards. This is why I be going so hard on these goddamn immature. Oh my gosh, man.
Dude, because it's fucking broad, bro. Now listen
This
to this.
is crazy.
His girl's a stripper, right? In Vegas. When motherfucker was handing out 20s, she couldn't even see his ass for breakfast. Right? Then he starts handing out hundreds after he makes some money. She's all of a sudden she's in LA, and then the mom's visiting 2 weeks later, and then they're engaged. And then he calls me and Tamer over to his house one day, and he's like, look what she bought for me. It's a Porsche. Brand new Porsche convertible, nice car. I look at Tamer, I'm like, dude, what do you mean she bought it for you? It's like, yeah, she bought it for me. I'm like, with what fucking money, dude? She ain't got that from stripper money. And he's like, oh no, from the joint account. What, motherfucker?
This dude do something here.
Wow.
He's like, but she could have bought it she could have spent it anywhere, but she spent it on me.
Man,
I'm like, Al, how much is in the joint account? A lot more than the car cost. I'm like, motherfucker. This is Al. I just give you this story just so you understand what we're talking about. So anyway, Al fucking he goes off to Taft because he doesn't have the second case. I have the second case with Tamer. I got 30, he got 24. I'm representing myself in the second case with Tamer. I fired my attorneys. I start representing myself because these motherfuckers, they don't know what they're doing and they're all fucking corrupt. I don't.
All them attorneys is corrupt, man.
They're all because I'll tell you why. Think about it, bro. 90% of people rat in the feds.
Uh-huh.
They say it's 85% because there's 5% that tried to rat, and even the Fed said, "No, you're too fucking stupid. We can't we can't work with that." So these fools get to run around with a clean jacket. They're hiding up in there, but they tried. They didn't? It wasn't for lack of trying.
Right.
Right. So you got 90% of motherfuckers ratting, right? Now, for a dude like me, you got a 6-week trial, you got fucking months of prep, you got everything else, and sure, you're gonna make 6, 7, 800 grand, right? You're gonna add on some extras with the bills, the investigators, whatever else, right? You're gonna make money. But look at all that time. The dude who rats, it's 2 debriefings and a sentencing and 35 grand. Nobody wants to know who my lawyer is after he spent 6 weeks at trial with me and 3 months in prep when I get 30 years. Nobody's asking who my lawyer is, but the motherfucker who got caught with 10 kilos that got fucking 3 months, everybody wants to know who his lawyer is. Now, how can that same lawyer really fight for a motherfucker who's standing up while he's trying to protect his relationship with the United States Attorney's Office for the 90% of his clients and his bread and butter, which is getting these rats good deals? They serve dudes like us up. That's just the
all
way it
backdoor
works.
deals, Lou. All backdoor deals.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's just business. If you take your personal emotional shit out and just analyze this as a business, right? And you look at the defendants that come through, they're greasing the wheels. The prosecutor, the defense, and the judge are all attorneys. The fucking clerks are wannabe attorneys. We're just the greasing the wheels. If you look at it and depersonalize it, it makes perfect sense by the laws of economics
when I
that
walked
we'd
in
be
this
the
courtroom,
sacrificial
Lou,
lambs.
one of the things that struck me when I walked in the courtroom and I realized something, I said, damn, everybody in this courtroom is against me, including this motherfucker sitting next to me.
Yeah. Economically, think about it, man. These defense attorneys, they count on the prosecutors to bring these cases. The more cases they bring, the more work there is on the defense side.
Right.
I mean, of course, the economics of fucking effort are going to enter. And if we're fucking high effort for low return, because motherfuckers lose 90% of the time going to trial or 97% of the time going to trial in the feds, so nobody's going to give them any referrals from that shit. It's going to take them a ton of work, or the dude is going to rat 2 debriefings and a sentencing. 35 G's, keep his relationships tight with the United States Attorney's Office to keep pushing these deals through. It's just economics.
So you have to advocate for yourself. You go pro se, right?
Yeah, but there's a case, bro, also that's really interesting out of the 10th Circuit that motherfuckers probably don't know about, where they did find that plea agreements are bribery. Bribery is a constitutional crime. And you know what Sandra Day O'Connor said? I think it's Strickland out of the 10th Circuit, not the famous Strickland
I remember
case.
that case.
Not Strickland versus
Not the
Washington.
famous Strickland there. I think it's another Strickland or Singletary or something like that, right? I'll find it
I
and
remember
get it to
both
you. But
cases, Strickland and Singletary.
so out of the 10th Circuit, and these dudes, they said, yeah, that's bribery. That's a constitutional crime. Plea agreements are unconstitutional. But Sandra Day O'Connor, the liberal justice of her time, said, yeah, that's true, but it's so ingrained in our system that if we get rid of them, it'll create havoc. So we're just going to keep it.
Right.
It's right there in black and white.
They just don't want to be wrong.
Yeah.
But they wrong, but they don't want to correct their wrong.
Bro, listen, if all of us are sitting here together and we can pass something around from one of our hands to the next one to the next one, and every time it goes around the circle, it's more money for all of us, we're going to do that too. That's what they do. It's just they pass us.
Right.
It's human. The thing is that the justice system is supposed to stop that systemization, that kind of systematic abuse, but it can't because it can't. It's all bullshit. The stare decisis system is fake. The whole thing's fake because judges. There's cases. Anybody that's studied cases knows there's cases on both sides of every argument. A judge can confirm or deny anything and have a case to back him up.
Right.
Right.
The
It's
whole
always
thing is
one law ruling in this way, another one ruling in this way, so the judge has the discretion to go whichever way he wants to. So it's definitely.
yeah.
But look, back to the story. You was telling us how you get locked back up.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, I go off on tangents, man. Just cut
That's
me off.
good.
So where were we at?
You get locked up again. Tamer gets you a case.
Oh yeah, so he calls me and he says, "Oh yeah, Al's over here at Cicconi's, right?" And I'm like, "Okay." I race right over there, and I still got 6 months on paper, and Al's over there with fucking sitting at a table, smiling, laughing, everything, and me and Tamer are sitting there, and then Al decides to go to the bathroom, and me and Tamer look at each other. We both get up, follow him to the bathroom, and Tamer's like, "Look, man, you're still on paper. We're just gonna scare him." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, Anyway, we go in. Al's in the fucking stall doing fucking lines for like 10 minutes, right? So I'm taking a piss, Tamer's standing by the door. Then Tamer's taking a piss, I'm standing by the door. We're going back and forth, like just whatever, waiting for this dude to come out, right? And then finally he comes out, and Tamer's right by the door with him. And I'm standing by the sink. And hey, and they push each other. And Al's a big dude, and he's got a big fucking right coming over that, and I'm thinking, I'm watching, I'm like, okay, I'm going back to prison. There's no way Al can walk out of this bathroom. Tamer's about to fucking get hit. This is going to be a mess, like slow motion. Like I thought all that. And then, like in a fucking cartoon, bro, all of a sudden, like Al's hand hit a force field. It just stopped like 2 inches from Tamer's head because Tamer hit him with a fucking three-piece starting with the jab. Al ends up fucking falling down with his left arm, lands in the motherfucking urinal that Tamer and me were just pissing.
Damn.
Tamer walks up on him, gives him another three-piece. Now, dude, this is Cicconi's in the middle of fucking West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Sunday brunch, right? Blood's fucking spraying everywhere. It's like all over Tamer, all over Al, fucking on the ceiling, everything. Because Tamer gave him another three-piece and busted his fucking lip open. So anyway, I'm like, okay, cool. This worked out all right. That's good. I'm gonna go get the cars. We got to get the fuck out of here. So Tamer's like, okay, cool. I'm like, you cool? He's like, yeah, I'm cool. So then I go outside. Now this fucking fat Sammy, our good friend, this Persian dude, one of the dudes who was on Shaws of Sunset back in the day, like he's a fucking fat dude, cool guy. He's standing in front of the door. He wasn't letting anybody in. This is like going on like 15 minutes in the middle of Sunday brunch. This is all fucking bunch of white people, dude. Like that's not. So I'm like, oh shit, we gotta really get the fuck out of here. These are the motherfuckers that call the cops when you fucking smell bad back in the day from smoking a joint. You know what I mean? Like them type of people. So anyway, I'm like, okay, I get the cars, I get them pulled up, and then Tamer comes out, and I noticed that he's wearing Al's jacket, and anyway, we leave. And Sammy, he's Persian dude, funny as fuck. He's like, bro, if you guys didn't want to pay the bill, you could have just told me.
He think it's about he know it wasn't about the.
He was just fucking around because Persians always fuck around with the bill. Like 10 of them go out to lunch, you're gonna see 10 credit cards come out when that bill comes, bro.
I got a question for all y'all on this panel that been to the feds. So in a comment right now, it says by Trevor Kelly, if people didn't take plea deals, it will shut the whole court system down completely. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, we'll pick it up.
Well, you can figure it out simply by math. That's a fucking true statement. It's a simple statement. Einstein would have loved that statement because a 6-year-old could understand it. And just add up the time that one motion takes.
Right.
If they have to do that for everybody, bro, they can't even meet the speedy trial on the first hop.
Yeah.
Damn.
They can't. It's just they wouldn't have the time to take everybody in the bus
not only
from MDC to court every day. Think about it, the marshals wouldn't have enough time in the day to transport enough people back and forth from court every day. They just mathematically just don't add up in any way, shape, or form. Plus, it's the fucking feds, bro. So BOP ain't doing nothing smart. I mean, that was one of the funniest things when I came home. People were like, "Orange is the new black" was the big thing. I was like, "I've never been in a woman's prison."
Conversations. Real quick. So Melly was getting ready to concur what you were saying. Melly, could you expound on that real quick?
Yeah, so if everybody didn't take the plea deal, you're right. But the other part is that everybody needs to just not waive their rights.
Yeah, no, don't never
where
waive
Melly
speedy
go?
trial.
Yeah.
Right, Mel? Never waive speedy trial. You want all yours every time.
Yeah, that's a fact. And so you was telling us about Sammy. He tell you if you didn't
Yeah, so
want
Sammy's standing there, he tells us that, right? I'm like, dude, it was just funny. It was a joke. And
Sorry about
so anyway,
that.
then
Yeah, you
then
can
about
don't waive your rights to a speedy trial. That would back that
never,
system up so bad.
never. You want, bro, listen, that fucking court is freedom. So freedom passes through there. So you want every piece of that you can get all the time. Everything. You want 100% of what's coming to you with your rights. And if everybody thought that way, they couldn't even service 10%, man. And they're stuck. They're stuck because how would they service more? They need more budget. But you guys know from having been in these pens and everywhere else, they get a set budget for the year. They ain't getting no extra money in the middle. And they ain't going to increase the Justice Department's budget by fucking 10,000% so that everybody can have a trial. They just think about it, the money doesn't exist. This is why it makes me so crazy, Mel, right? I know this is why it makes you so crazy because it's simple math. You ain't got to trust the motherfucker. You just got to make sure the next dude doesn't do it.
Exactly.
And the math speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So so then Tamer, so anyway, then we leave. And about 4 months later on Valentine's Day, right after I started dating my wife, Tamer, a cop drove by Tamer's house, left a card. Day before Valentine's Day, Tamer calls him. He won't tell him what it is, but he tells him he's got charges and he should come in. So the bail bondsman and the lawyer goes down with Tamer to West Hollywood Sheriff's Department the next morning, 4th of July. So I'm at work at drop-in. I'm like, oh shit, dude, I'm dealing with insurance companies and Lyft. And last thing I need is this case coming up again, right? Like some shit with me or Tamer, like with the law, like that's the last thing you want. So anyway, I call the lawyer, like 10 in the morning. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Well, we posted Tamer's bail, but they got a warrant for you too. So you may as well come down here. I got the bail bonds in here. I'm like, what? I raced down there. Attempted murder, extortion, and assault with a deadly weapon. They broke 160 grand for my bail, 140 grand or 50 grand for Tamer's bail. The worst part is after they put up the bail right away, we're sitting in there all day. It's like 6 o'clock at night, right? And I'm like, man, they ain't letting us out, bro. Our bail's been up for 6 hours. They must have some other shit. You know how when you're locked up in there, you're thinking the worst, right?
Right.
You're thinking of everything you ever done in your life that nobody ever found out about.
And it caught up with me, right?
So you're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh shit, they ain't letting us out. And then they put some fucking weirdo Mexican in there, right? Like, Tamer's African, Egyptian.
Right.
And I'm white Jewish. And they put some Mexican dude in a fucking 2-man cell with us in West Hollywood Sheriff's. And he starts asking us all kinds of questions. And so we're like,
is this fool the feds?
This fool's a fed.
Right.
The feds are about to pop out the door. They're holding us until the feds get here for something. But then they let us out a couple hours later, and so then we had a case, a serious case. That's a serious case, especially with our criminal history. And so, Tamer's like, "Fuck, man, what are we gonna do?" I was like, "Look, bro, just get the discovery. I need the discovery. And I want all the video from the restaurant." And so I was representing myself, and Tamer had Tiffany. And I finally got all the discovery. I got all the video from the restaurant. And so I found a few things. Al said both of us beat the shit out of him. It wasn't. It was Tamer did it. I really didn't touch him. Tamer fucking handled that fool almost embarrassingly well. Like I should have touched him, but it was
I
just
never
so.
would have thought Tamer had it in him.
Yeah, but he just, I mean, he handled it to perfection. 2 3 pieces. Dude was down. Arm was fucking looked like it was broken in the fucking urinal. I mean, unless you're gonna put a motherfucker all the way in the dirt, there ain't much more to do there, right? And so anyway, I get the videos, and so Al had said that we knocked him unconscious with a lead pipe. Both of us. That's how come assault with a deadly weapon.
He died.
All the same shit the rats always do, adding 100 fucking extras. And Al, he's a big boy. He just didn't want to be embarrassed that Tamer by himself did him like that. So he had to say it was both of us. But Tamer did it. Got him. And so anyway, he said all this shit, right? Anyway, I get the videos. First thing I noticed, Al does a coke deal before he goes in the bathroom. When Al went to the bathroom, there was a dude who came up. You see him on the pager. You see the whole thing. You see the dude go outside. You see the dude then come back in, the money exchange. Then you see the dude walk to the bathroom. Then you see when we saw Al walk to the bathroom, that dude was already standing by the door. You see him put a fucking thing in his jacket, right? And that was the coke Al was doing inside. Then remember I told you Tamer and him changed clothes, right? Then he said he was knocked unconscious in the bathroom, and and then after we left, Al goes back to his table. He's standing there for 8.5 minutes, holding a napkin to his chin, standing. That's not what a motherfucker does who just got knocked unconscious. You'd be sitting down. He wasn't stumbling when he was walking back to the table. And after 4.5 minutes on the thing, or 4 minutes, I forgot which, he takes the napkin off. It's not bleeding anymore. He orders a cocktail and slams it when it gets delivered. Right? So I'm like, okay, I got this motherfucker. So we went, so we went down to court, and we told the prosecutor, we're like, look, man, first of all, your witness, if you're gonna charge us, you gotta charge him. He's doing blow. Here's his deal right here. Second, you can't charge us unless you charge him. Second, here's 8 minutes. He wasn't knocked unconscious. Both of us didn't hit him. Don't care what you do, but we'll take this dude to the box. And by the way, here's discovery that I plan on introducing for character. This dude's baby mama died. He had a Rolls Royce and a Porsche at the time, and he put up a GoFundMe for his daughter. This is the kind of scumbag witness that you're
gonna have to put on the stand.
Yeah, to make bro, we got this West Hollywood sheriffs. I still got the video, bro, of him talking to them.
Right.
Answering all the questions, everything. Right? Like, so that was that, and they dropped the case, so we beat that one. And
so
they didn't
how
want
long before the Thailand escapade?
Oh, that's a few years before the Thailand escapade. Then drop-in's going good. Partnership with Lyft and everything, that's going good. And Lloyd's, and we're starting to get customers. I got the first customer, because nobody wanted to be in business. Like, I was a novelty friend when I came home. People who met me were like, oh, here's a convict who can talk fucking nice and tell stories and shit. I was like a novelty motherfucker, right? Like, everybody wants you at their dinner party, but they don't want to do no legit business with you. But when they have problems, they're quick to tell you about it, right?
Right. Like you can fix them for them, man.
Yeah.
So, you know what to do.
So anyway, we're like, okay, cool. Everything was cruising along, and then COVID came along, and we got into the PPE shit.
Oh, shit.
And then these dudes robbed us for 2.7. These Chinese dudes out of Taiwan robbed us for 2.7 on a glove deal. And bro, like, listen, we're evolved, right? And I'm not in a gang. I never gave my allegiance to anyone other than my co-defendants about anything. I didn't grow up like in the same life maybe as some of the people listening. I didn't give a lifetime allegiance to the mafia or to Bloods or Crips or Mexicans or white boys or anybody else. My allegiance has always been like, you guys are my co-defendants. We're doing dirt. I ain't never tell them. You know, I mean, that's sad. So anyway, you know, I'm in the legitimate world now, and I couldn't take it that a dude, you know, took 2.7. So, you know, there was quarantine. You couldn't travel at that time, and this fool was on the phone talking all kinds of shit. You know, fuck you, da da da, ain't nothing you're gonna do about it. And then, so me and a bunch of my old friends and a bunch of mercenaries went to Thailand, and allegedly we got this motherfucker. He says that we got him and we got some money and this and that, and then they made a case on me for attempted murder, kidnap, and extortion.
In
And
Thailand?
in Thailand. Yeah,
Yeesh.
you can pull it up. It's so you can see the arrest video there.
I'm looking
They
for it right now. Hold on.
yeah, they came in.
Don't they be caning motherfuckers in Thailand?
Yeah, they do all kind of shit in Thailand. It's wide open. If I would have known Thailand in my 20s, I'd probably still be moving with no. I would have never met Eminem.
Oh, you would have stayed in Thailand? Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the video. Where you talk about it a little bit. Let's see if they let me stop it. Hold on.
So these dumb motherfuckers in Thailand, right? They're so corrupt and so stupid. They say we did all this shit, and they made like this scene in a restaurant where some old man gets, you know, grabbed, and there's a policeman there and everything else. And they said that was me. That wasn't me. I wasn't there. Whatever might have happened or didn't happen that day, that wasn't me in that restaurant kidnapping that dude like they said it was. And we went to work on him.
All right, we finna play it right now. You ready, Lou?
Go ahead.
Oh, I gotta turn on that damn audio. I forgot it has that little thing.
A lot of people were calling us saying, hey, you were moving stuff around the world when we were trying to stop you. Can you help us out now? Who knows that system better than ex-drug traffickers? There was a real need, and we felt that we could help.
We ended up bringing in over 1 million masks and PPEs.
That's Tamer.
Yeah.
They were going to go to healthcare workers, frontline workers, rescue workers, all the people that are risking their lives taking care of other people during this pandemic.
They delivered the container to our hangar in Van Nuys, and that's when Louis realized this is completely fraudulent.
I've never seen anything that bad. These are blood-stained gloves with holes in them.
Majority of the PPE business was fraud.
These people are making money hurting Americans.
This cannot be moved into the supply chain. So now we're stuck on a $3 million order for 14 containers, and it's all garbage. We got a serious fucking problem. The gloves were being shipped out of Thailand, so we got to go to Thailand.
Trying to weed through an ocean of bullshit to get to an island of reality is very difficult. It's a culture of fraud over there.
Fake paperwork, fake gloves, fake boxes. The scale of this operation is huge. These guys were Chinese organized crime.
There was military generals involved. There's dirty cops involved. They're being paid off. And we're not in our own playground.
Their factory was basically repacking on a large scale, spraying them, washing them, putting them in boxes and reboxing them, and sending them out in container loads and millions of these gloves. They weren't surgical grade. They weren't medical grade. They were shit. I have personally had experience with terrorism. I was at ground zero in the dirt, digging. I saw how it destroyed people's lives. And make no mistake, what they're doing is terrorism.
This is state-sponsored medical terrorism. Nobody wants to say it. I will.
This is Thailand. It's very corrupt. Anything can happen, and it all went south.
They threw everything that they could at this guy just to be able to arrest him.
We have arrest warrant. Right now, we search your home.
They use the media to influence the justice system in order to shake you down, pay so you can get the fuck out.
You don't see the whole story. They're only showing you what they want you to see.
It's a formula. They had it down. And they used it against a lot of people until they ran into us.
they were so sure that we were going to fall apart and pay anything. They never thought anybody would look them in the eye and say, fuck you, let's go to the box.
You ever ran into a person that did something right away, you know, I shouldn't have fucked with this guy? Well, they ran into a few of us.
I promise the cop, at the end of it, you'll be the one in jail, not me.
That was pretty good.
CNN got involved, Homeland Security got involved, all because it made enough noise that now they had to get involved.
The people we depended on 20 years ago and depended on us came through for us again.
That's the best part of this whole story.
Man, when did Tamer lose all his hair?
He been going bald, bro.
So the crazy part about that whole shit, right, is I don't know if any of you guys were in the international game back in the 90s before the euro dollar came out, or the early 2000s. But Europe used to have these money changer places everywhere. Like, we got check cashers here.
Uh-huh.
And so if you had cash and you needed a check, or you had a check and you need cash, or you need a wire back then, like, you know, it wasn't just our dude, but we had this dude, King Currency Exchange. So anybody who was in Europe or remember King Currency Exchange from back then, because they were everywhere in every city. It's this Indian dude, short little Indian dude, and he was the dude that everybody went to. The street just kind of knew, like, that was the dude, right? And he could do it because he had all the currency exchange to cover it up. Anyway, the euro dollar comes out. This dude kills the dude's business. So he ends up in Thailand for the last 20 years before this happens. The other thing is these dudes were Chinese dudes. Remember, I told you I used to send the fucking shit to the Chinese, the cocaine in London. And then I'd bring the ecstasy back, right? So I had Chinese connects. So I was able to find out, hey, what's up with these dudes? These dudes were the same dudes that were selling fake EpiPens to kids in Africa and doing human trafficking shit, like low level, like slimy triads, not like real triads, like, but triad, but not really. You know what I mean? Like, kind of that fucking,
Yeah.
I don't know, that gray area of shit that ain't right, but you can't say it's wrong either, but it ain't right.
Yeah.
Right? So I could give examples here, but I don't want to insult anybody. But you guys know what I'm talking about. So anyway, they tell me what's up, and the feds had taught me how to build a case, man, and Thailand's corrupt. So I hire I get a dude at the phone company. I pay him for the pen registers, GPS coordinates, everything of all these dudes' phones and all the secondary phones that they're attached to, the same way the feds did. Do everything like that, right? I found Thai generals are involved in this shit. I got their whole distribution, everything. I built this whole thing, and we realized that, like, bro, our 2.7 million was nothing. What the Thailand was doing during COVID was shipping to the United States alone every month more than its annual production capacity. And forget any other customers. And the Thai government was doing this shit, right?
What?
Anyway, and they were in on it, neck deep. So anyway, King shows up at the condo where we got arrested, right? 2 days before that. And he says, hey, to me and Tamer, he's like, hey, they got a bullshit case on you. They got your passport blocked, but I can get you out. A motherfucker was getting up to start packing. Dude, it's Thailand. And then King says, or you can get arrested. We'll get you bail. We'll get this shit turned around. And because King didn't like the info on these dudes. When you hear that these dudes are selling fake EpiPens to kids in Africa, listen, I don't care, gangster or not, man, that ain't cool. I'm not with that type of shit. That's
Right.
that's just something, if you can do anything about that, like, even that stay in your own lane. But like I said, I got a big mouth. I get my ass beat sometimes. But but I don't know. I just wasn't with that. Neither was King. Neither was a couple other people. And I didn't like these people anyway, because they brought the cops in, bro. They played gangster, and then allegedly we got them, and now they want to bring the cops in. Like, You know, they're just not my type. You know, in Asia, it's weird. It ain't like over here. Like the cops over there are part of the game. It's
Right.
just the way it works.
All corrupt.
And yeah, they're all corrupt. And so anyway, King says, or that, you know, I'll get you bail and we'll get this thing turned around. I thought Tamer was going to kill him. He jumped up off the couch quick. How the fuck can you say that? That's my boy. This place is so fucking corrupt. Da, da, da. King pulled out the pictures. This is what Tamer meant in the video. King pulled out the pictures of his grandkids. And he said, you guys didn't rat on me 25 years ago. I got you the same way. And we were
Wait,
both,
what?
yeah. Yeah.
Wait, look. So you mean to tell me he got told on by the Thais, right? By the Thailand people, right? And,
No, I'm saying like King was the King currency exchange. And when we got busted, that sent reverberations through all of Europe and California, Miami, New York, all the places we were working, right?
Okay.
And King was one of those people. We'd done millions of dollars in transfers and cash outs and shit with him, right? And he was worried, and he knew we didn't rat on him. We stayed friends with him. So when Tamer jumped up, I thought he was going to kill him for saying that. King, like, literally, is this short little Indian man. You wouldn't think nothing of him, bro. Like, his feelings were hurt. He literally pulled the pictures of his he has the old school wallet, too, with the pictures. Pulled the pictures of his grandkids out the wallet, pulled the wallet out, and said, man, I have these grandkids, man. You didn't rat on me 25 years ago. I got you the same way you got me.
Right.
Damn, okay.
Right? So, that's, so, you know, me and Tamer were like, almost started crying, bro. I'm even almost crying right now thinking about it. It's just one of those moments. It's like, you know, it gives you face still with some motherfuckers actually can keep it real. Yeah, some fools really are.
All because you didn't steal.
Yeah. And so anyway, me and Tamer thought, like, okay, I'm gonna get arrested. The embassy's gonna show up. I'm gonna hand them this shit. They're pumping this poison into our system. These are used medical waste gloves that they're washing and dyeing blue to make look like nitrile. And whatever side of COVID you're on, if anybody in your family or any of your friends' families ever in the hospital, these are the gloves the doctors use for cancer, for the flu, for everything. It ain't just COVID, right? I mean, this is anybody's got a nurse, anybody, like this is the shit they use. This is
Gloves are not
America.
sterile at all. They're contaminated.
Yeah, they're contaminated. So, okay, cool. We can get that stopped. We're thinking, okay, the embassy's going to come if an American gets arrested in a foreign country, and that's going to be that, right? Like here's the evidence. I built you a case. You can fucking deal with these fools. There's 2 Thai generals involved. The head of SkyMed, the dude Kampi, fucking Air Force captain in the Thai fucking Air Force. These dudes are backing these fucking Chinese dudes who are running all this shit. They're running all this shit together and these glove thing, right? And embassy still didn't show up. But they arrested me Saturday. The embassy still hasn't shown up. But you know who showed up in court Monday morning? King. You know who got us all bail? Monday afternoon? King.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, listen, fellas, I gotta bounce up out of here, man. But Lou, Eminem, send me Lou's number so I can contact
That's when
you.
it's Deuce
Yeah,
Sims.
man.
People don't know that Eminem died. I'm Deuce Sims now. Yeah.
Okay, Deuce
Sims?
Sims, the guy.
Yeah. Deuce Sims, the guy. Hey, I'm gonna send you that Melly Mel. Drive safe, man. Salute to you.
Mel, wait, Mel. You remember how many times fools were telling him to change Eminem because the white boy Eminem was coming up at the same time we were locked up? Oh, I'll never change that, man. I'm Brim. I'll never change that, homie.
Yeah, he's the Brimster. Now he's Deuce M's.
Yeah, man. Gotta reinvent yourself, man. Gotta reinvent yourself.
Yes, sir.
I'm just teasing you, bro, with love, man. I'm teasing you with love.
Well, let us know what the next move is, Lou. What's the next move? What's next?
Okay, Lou, Yael, salute to everybody. Salute to the channel. Peace and blessings to everybody, man.
Salute.
All right, Mel. Looking forward.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah, so next thing, so what we're working on right now is we're doing a personal security company. We put cameras on cars and tell you if you're being followed. We'll also tell you if someone's hiding in your bushes with a thermal camera before you pull into your garage. So anti-kidnap was basically the gig there. You know, all the old Mexican homies will pay big for that shit. Obviously, it has other uses as well. You know, I don't want to comment on that. We just hope if
Right.
somebody uses our product, we hope to give them a good product and hope that it services them in the way they want, in a reliable fashion. But yeah, that's basically, and we could tell you if you know you got a drone or helicopter you can't see in the air. We tell you if a car's following you behind you with your lights off. We can tell you if multi cars are switching out and following you because we, you know, besides the one shot kills, which are like license plate or we can also tell by, you know, these cameras are amazing. You can tell by paint fade, little cracks, how high the bumper is from the ground because every car is slightly a little bit different, right? Like almost like a fingerprint. So you can identify the cars without the one shot kill. So if it's like 3 or 4 cars rotating to keep you following, and then the other thing that we can do is when the car's parked. We run it against the public databases of sex offenders and child molesters. So if your wife's in the park with the kids, and one of them fools is around, we can send a notification to the app with a picture of them because those are public databases so that people will know what they're being surrounded with.
Yeah. The stalking thing, my boy Eric say, do it work for baby mamas that stalking you?
Hey, do it work for people that stalk you on like Clubhouse and Instagram and set up dating numbers?
Yeah, my co-host got issues, bro. He got real stalkers and stuff. That's why they call him the Kiwe pop star, the Crip
Bro,
pop
you need
star.
to get yourself one of these Israeli fucking pager hackers, right? And when they try to put the payload in to stalk you, it'll accept it, but what it really does is it reverses it and puts a payload in to that you can tell them wherever you want them to think that you are.
Oh, okay.
You
Okay.
like that?
Hell
Right.
yeah, send
Yeah.
me that app ASAP. Hey, I'm gonna be at set the date, bitch.
Yeah. Hey, so what's up? We gonna get together in Vegas or what?
Hey, oh yeah, we need to do it now that you remember who Melly Mel is because you didn't remember at first, right? But
Well, bro, I keep it real. I told him, man, there's a lot of brothers running around talking about
with
their names
Melly
Melly
Mel,
Mel.
right?
That ain't nothing unique in the joint.
Yeah, we just gotta set the date. Did you already run it by T?
Yeah, T's ready, man. You just tell me when you guys are ready. Let's do it.
And
Where's Nino?
Nino just texted me. He couldn't get on the thing. He just texted me talking about how proud he is, and he said Eminem and Ludin hooked back up. The feds is watching.
Oh, dog.
But we keep them watching. We keep them watching.
Hey, bro, let them watch. We just got to
Let
keep
'em
doing it
watch.
legal. Hey,
Yeah.
but yeah, I definitely make sure I bring Nino. We just got to set up a date.
Yeah, we could do this again. I know this one went a little long and we got a little sidetracked, but if your followers want to do some more, I'm always happy to chat with you, bro.
Oh man, that's and I'm finna go smoke my Newport too. So that's a bet, bro. And you didn't even talk about the movie, the upcoming movie not thinking about that you're gonna execute.
Yeah, so I'm doing these podcast, not this one. This one I'm doing just because Deucem's my boy, but I've been doing these podcasts, build my following. I'll do my own podcast called Plucking Chickens because I ain't giving these fools my life rights. They can have a licensing deal. So if I have a following, that'll give me a little bit more leverage.
Definitely. And we gonna make sure
I don't want to change nothing. I don't want them to change nothing either. They can just I don't need to add nothing to it. I mean, you know, do Sam. I'm getting it, bro. Give me a couple
It takes
days.
a minute to get used to. I know
Yeah.
you're not used to calling me that. You know what I'm saying? But
Lamonte.
well, you know my whole government, right?
Hey, Lou, I got the feds in my back pocket. Hey, I know you don't know me, but guess what? I know you. And guess what? I recorded it.
Yeah, hey, no, imagine if we ain't gonna say no that he's imitating a famous internet personality, right? This my co-host, he'll probably have you in about a month time if he catches your cadences, how you talk or whatever. He can do a great impersonation. So a dude says, yeah, the feds raided my house, federal task force raided my house. I'm an ex-felon. They found a gun in my house in California. Found a gun in my house, but it was my wife's father's old gun he gave to her. And they didn't lock me up. And then I went on Wilshire to the
Wait, was that gun locked outside that he had no access to it?
No, it was inside the house.
Was there? Okay, so that's not right. And
Right.
is there any bullets?
Yes.
How many bullets? Because 922G is felon in possession, period, whether you're doing anything or not. And possession means clear access. Doesn't mean like it's on you. It means that you have unobstructed access to it. Right. And then that is a 5-piece off the rip.
Right.
And then they can, if they want, they can do you a year per bullet.
Right. So he had that case. 2 days after they searched his house and the diesel, he go talk to the feds on the 64th floor on Wilshire. I said, I never knew about a federal building on Wilshire, right? He said, yeah, the
64 floors.
But it doesn't even have 64 floor. He just basically said a higher floor, right? And then he sees a woman in an FBI flap jacket, and that had told him her connect went dark. This is before he met her there. Had told him her connect went dark. She's from New Orleans. She's trying to buy 5 keys, and she knows that he does business with Suge Knight, right? He sees the same Fed at the building. And the police told him, I owe you a favor because we didn't find nothing and we searched your house. We didn't find nothing or whatever.
See, cops don't owe you a favor when they fuck your shit up. They don't owe you nothing, right? We've all had our shit tossed in the fucking cell, in the street, everywhere. When does a motherfucking cop ever say they owe you a favor because they didn't find nothing? That's some extra shit that a motherfucker throws in because in their crazy brain, they think that makes their story more believable. When actually, if you're analyzing it critically, cops don't owe us fucking favors, even when they do dirty, nasty shit.
Hey, no. Hey, Lou. Hey, big back. Hey, listen. Hey, they owe me a favor because look, when they raided my house, didn't have it in it. It was on my person, but it wasn't particular mine. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, look, they owe me a favor because I didn't say it wasn't my gun. I said it was my wife's father's gun, and it was an old gun.
No, the favor they owe you is for whatever it is you told them turned out to be true, that they didn't bust your ass that day for that piece.
Fuck you. Hey, fuck your podcast. Hey, fuck you. I got the paperwork on Lou.
Oh, my paperwork's clean.
It don't matter. He said he got the paperwork on me, but it gets deeper. And this was a viral video. I ended up doing a whole documentary on it. So the favor that he said the federal task force, joint task force with LAPD, sheriffs, and the feds that they owed him, he used it and called in a favor through his lawyer to help Shaquille O'Neal beat a kidnapping, robbery, assault investigation.
Isn't Shaq a fucking cop?
seven Main Street Crips. This is what he said.
Wait, isn't Shaq a cop?
Yeah, he's certified and probably
He's a fucking cop.
right.
For real, I'm not talking shit. I mean, his daddy's in the army. Shaq's a law and order dude, and he's a motherfucking cop. And you saved a cop from a kidnap with a favor that they owed you because you told him it was your fucking girl's daddy gun.
Hey Lou, that's Shaquille O'Neal, and I'm a cop, and I'm from Miami.
Hey,
I'm
Trevor Kelly.
I'm a bust your ass in jail.
Trevor Kelly says they would have to prove he lived there. Trevor, let me tell you something.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to let you expound after I make this quick little point. First and foremost, before the feds and the Joint Task Force hit your house, they've already made sure that they knew that you lived there. And under California law, all you have to do is squatter law, right? All you have to do is get mail there, have clothes there, or pay a bill in that house. That's it. But go ahead, Lou.
Bro, listen, I want to say this clearly. If you're not there, then nobody can know nothing. But everybody that I know, this motherfucker would be the first if the feds owed him a favor for not arresting him when there was a gun that he had clear access to in the house with bullets. Sounds to me, first of all, like he owes them a motherfucking favor. Now, if he wants, that's a favor. If that ever happened to any of us, they'd be expecting that we owe them a favor, not that they owe us a favor. So maybe that's some alternate universe shit. Maybe motherfucker identifies that he lives in the bizarro world. I don't know, but that's first thing. Second thing is, if the cops owe you a favor, it's never because of some shit that they did. It can only be because of some shit that you did.
Fact. Well, we gonna end on that one, man. I appreciate your time, Lou. We definitely got to get on.
We should do that though. You know what we should do, Em? You know what we should do, guys? We should fucking do that like maybe once a week or once a month. Let's check fools' paperwork. All these dudes out here yelling, yeah. Let's do like we used to do when the Pruno used to come out on Friday nights and there was new motherfuckers in the unit in front of the TV and we're watching the fucking Lakers. Let's get that paperwork out before you get your motherfucking cup out.
Right.
Hey, Lou.
That sounds like a great idea.
Let's do it.
Lou, they call me Mr. Check.
We definitely gonna do it. Y'all stay tuned. And let me give this offer to anybody out here who has false allegations against them and want to clear their name. Tap in, me and Lou. Y'all, we gonna make sure that
y'all, let's do that, man. Let's do that, the three of us.
And for those that are rats, beware. We're gonna clean bill of health for those that are got clean bill of health and deserve it for standing up.
And man, people who got that, they deserve some recognition anyway, because that ain't easy, bro. It ain't easy. When 95% of the other human beings in the world are doing the other shit, we're the 5% that didn't. You should get recognized for that.
Facts.
Salute, Lou.
But if you a rat, and you out here fronting in Miami like you're a big old boss gangster, right? Just know that your name might be coming up in one of these upcoming weeks. Hey, Yael, take us out, bro.
Man, listen. Y'all just sat through 2 hours of dope content. All right, listen, we had Lou, a very important, a very legendary stance, legendary man in his field, kept it solid. PSI number came back great. Y'all should have been in the comments liking, subscribing, sharing with your friends. It ain't over yet. All you got to do is tell a friend to tap in on Damu Kiwe Conversations. This is the YouTube. We had Lou as a special guest. Salute to everybody on Clubhouse that was in that room, in the goo, in the chats. Y'all know that's where it's at. Salute to our Green Mob Jobs that was on their job today on Clubhouse, man. Salute to you guys, the whole family on Clubhouse. We appreciate y'all. And again, salute to our valid supporters today in the chat. Y'all know that's where it's at. Salute to everybody that's on our live in the chat, man. Y'all, I appreciate y'all. We got Henny, Megan Davis, RDL, Mike B, the whole team, man. Always awkward beginnings. Everybody that was in the chats, man. We salute and appreciate you guys. Lou, appreciate you, man, for being a stand-up individual and that paperwork coming back clean with no dirt and no smut, no cut on it. Thank you, brother. Hey,
Hey,
y'all.
thanks for having me, guys, and all you people in the chat. Thanks for spending a couple hours with me. I hope it wasn't too boring. And if you want, we can do it
I
again
had a
anytime.
ball, bro. I
Hey,
had
All right.
a fucking ball. Salute, bro.
Damu Kiwe
All right,
Conversations.
fellas.
And we out.